Coach, I know the goal down the stretch with new faces is trying to get the Knicks just about getting better. But given where you're in the standings, Charlotte, is there significant, significance to this one in terms of magnitude or something that you would share with your guys?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about sharing with the guys. Like, as long as we don't fall out of the plan, we know though that all these games mean something in the standings. It's not like we are just trying to get better at the expense of these games. We want to try to win these games. Can we find the cohesion and understanding quickly enough to win these games? That's the challenge. Having said that, I think we have lots of potential and opportunity. We played a great Celtics team on their home floor. Thought we made a ton of mistakes, and we're up one with 3 minutes left, down one with a minute 40 left. Had our chances. So, we feel positive and optimistic about our group. It's just how quickly can we get wins while we're finding improvement and forming a style of play, frankly. Sunday was the first time that Kevin, Kai, Goran, Seth, Andre, had all played together in a basketball game. So it's part of it is just, you can't expect it all to come at once.
Expounded on the positives, you can go back to the Miami game too. What are some positives that you pulled from both of those losses since kept on?
Yeah, I thought the Miami game, obviously I was at home, but watching closely, I thought the third quarter hurt us. Offensively, we couldn't score against the zone. Other than that, we played very well against the zone. Fourth quarter, we struggled to stop them. And, that was, partly, again, was that his first game back? Guys learning to play together. And then positives, I think, in Boston, where that's the best defense by a long shot in the league. And I think we scored 120. So on the road. So there's plenty to work with. It's just a matter of how quickly can we, like I said, form more understanding, cohesion, and a style of play with all these new pieces that makes sense to the players on the floor. So there's a confidence and a comfort in what we're doing.
You have a better idea of how Cam is?
Yeah, well, he's cleared to play, so I don't know if that's flying on all cylinders, but safe to return and available.
Steve, I think you guys first faced Charlotte in Game 3, which feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah.
Just what thought on them? They look different. Obviously, you guys look different too since then.
I mean, it's just a tricky team. They have talented players. They switch a ton. They play a lot of zone. They turn you over, play in transition, shoot a lot of threes. So they like Boston with their switching defense in a different way, is one of these teams that's just a rarity and they have their own style and identity that feels different when you play them. So that's the challenge with them, as much as their talent is that they do play a slightly different style than most teams in this league. They really double down on a lot of slip outs and guard actions and driving the ball, playing in transition, shooting a bunch of threes. So we have to be engaged. We have to be locked in. We have to be able to communicate because they're going to come at us and they're not conservative the way they play, and so we have to be ready for that. We can't be surprised when a guy pulls up or when a guy slips out and finds space for a three or drives it. We got to be able to contain them.
How important is it that you handle the zone better than you guys did against Miami? Not just because they play it, but also if you don't handle it, you'll probably see a little bit more of it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it was just a patch in the third. In the fourth quarter, I think we were above 1.2 points per possession against Miami. But I think it did make everyone leave that game thinking like the zone killed us. And it did for a stretch in the third quarter. But, other than that, we built a lead and I thought played against the zone pretty well. And prior to the third and the fourth, we just couldn't stop them. So, So am I concerned about zones being something that can hurt us? Not really. I think we have the shooters and playmakers do it. Can we execute at this point with all these new guys? That's the challenge. Come on, let's get out there. We've talked about it, we've worked on it, and now we got to execute.
Coach, in what ways should Kevin and Kai open up Seth and Patty that maybe we haven't seen yet? I know it's one game with both of them, or 2 games with Kevin, but in what ways should they be able to open things up for those guys?
Yeah. Well, I think just the gravity, the attention that they take, that they require for defenses to try to contain them. You have to guard them with a 5-man defense. You can't really leave guys on an island to play them one-on-one, so that should open up shooters. Now, having said that, Boston and Charlotte are unique teams because they switch a ton. And so that takes away a lot of your shooting actions. So now it gets down to, can we create out of pick and rolls, out of penetration, out of transition, and create them to overreact in those scenarios that will allow our shooters more opportunities rather than running actions where they're just going to switch and take it away.
You playing point guard, obviously, in the time in the NBA. Watching the middle of the ball, do you remind you of anybody at home, your time, or just anybody in general, just some time watching basketball?
That's a good question. Put me on the spot there. I haven't thought of that before, but you know, you clearly see that he has tremendous skills, IQ, and feel for the game. You know, size and speed and athleticism aside, you know, he understands how to make plays for others, and make others better at the same time as a threat to score in a lot of different ways. Well, and he's still a very young player in this league, so definitely a player that's going to have an incredible career.
How tough is it? You're 20 years old, as you mentioned, and trying to learn the flat and big guys who have been doing it for years, like Kevin Durant, guys that play against those guys. How tough is it to kind of figure out the fly, make mistakes out there for everybody?
Yeah, it's not to be underestimated. You know, it's really hard. He's a player that can handle it. Some guys handle it quicker and better than others. He's in that boat. Some come along at their own time, but it seems like he's able to adapt on the fly quickly, and it's shown so much steady improvement month to month in his time already in the league.
Got it. Thanks, guys.